General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, who you've mentioned repeatedly on social media, he accused you actually of fleeing to the United States already back in January, and that you're actually spending your time having a good time in the United States. What is your response to those allegations?
Well, I hope that the words of Muhoozi Kainerugaba, who is the head of our military, show the image of what our military is like. First of all, I'm confident to communicate that the military is not as professional as it's supposed to be. He said that I was 1 minute on January 30th. He said I was in America, but then he was looking for me. He raided my house later, and he has been raiding people. The things that he does and the things that he says, that is supposed to communicate to the world what our military is like in Uganda.
He's also accused the United States of helping you get out of Uganda. Is that true? Did the U.S. help you get out? And does this explain why you are now in Washington?
I will not name the people that helped me get out of Uganda. But the most important thing is that I am out of Uganda. But the same person has accused many countries. He has threatened to capture Kenya. He has come out. He has threatened to capture Sudan, and he has actually come out to proudly boast for murdering people in South Sudan. So this is a person that will attack anybody at leisure.
Do you feel still under threat, even far away from Uganda? I mean, do you think there are threats on your life, or because you're across the Atlantic, you are protected?
I am still under threat. I am aware that I'm being followed. And, in Uganda, history shows that many dissidents have left the country and have been followed and hurt, harmed, or even killed from very far away from home. I am still under threat. However, at least I know that I can communicate in the tentative. I can be able to speak to the world.
Right. What are you waiting for? There is also talk that U.S. Ambassador to Uganda, William Popp, is brokering an agreement with President Museveni that would allow your safe return and your party, the National Unity Platform, to be recognized as a legitimate political party. Are there such talks underway to help you get back and help your party re-become a normal political party?
First and foremost, we don't need any negotiation for our political party to be recognized. The law is not to be negotiated. The law is the law, and according to the law in Uganda and internationally, we are a legitimate political party. We have never been disagreeable to dialogue. We are for dialogue, but we don't believe in transactional dialogue. We believe in constructive and principled dialogue. First and foremost, I am not going to negotiate my freedom. My freedom must be guaranteed.
But do you think that there are conditions under which you could go back to Uganda despite the antagonism you mentioned with the regime and especially the son of the president?
Absolutely. I intend to go back to my country. My fight is in Uganda. My work is in Uganda. And my citizenship is in Uganda. I'm a Ugandan, and I have to go back to my country. However, I am supposed to be in Uganda as a free citizen, not as a person who must beg for my freedom.
Are you calling for sanctions against the regime by the United States, by Europe, or given that there have been strong backers of Museveni in the past, you don't think that's realistic at all?
Clearly, I am calling for sanctions, not only from the United States or Europe, but all believers in democracy, all believers in human rights, and all believers in the rule of law. These are values that bring us together as citizens of the world, as the international community. For democracies to be seen to work or cooperate with non-dictatorship, that is an embarrassment, that is an indictment to their legitimacy. So we are calling for sanctions against those that violate human rights, most importantly Museveni, his son, and all the officials that subvert democracy and the rule of law and abuse rights. I know that Uganda depend so much on foreign aid. And we have constantly been saying that that aid should be tied to values, should be tied to democracy. It should be conditioned to democracy, the rule of law, and respect for human rights.
As a conclusion, Bobby Wine, do you still want to be president of Uganda, or have those past experiences, especially this last one, indicated you that it's maybe not something you want to pursue?
Well, I have been elected president of Uganda twice. I've been elected president of Uganda twice. However, what is important to me is not me as an individual to be president. It's not about me. It is about freedom for our country. It's about the restoration of democracy for Uganda. It's about the respect of the rule of law and ensuring that all Ugandans enjoy their human rights and live in their country as full humans, whether I'm president or not. So I've said it again, and I say it right here on France 24, that it is not about me, but about ourselves. There is a whole generation of talented and qualified young people, and we must pave a way for that generation that must live not in dictatorship, but in absolute democracy. That is our wish, that is our fight, and that is our mission.
Bobby Wine, I want to thank you very much for being our guest here on France 24, and thank you all for watching this edition of Tête à Tête.